Well, here we are at the Sydney International Boat Show. We're at the My First Boat stand. I'm here with Geoff. If I was going to get a boat, and it was going to be my first boat, where would we start off?
Well, if you're going to have a sailing boat as your first boat, which is a great idea because sailing boats really do teach you all the basic skills involved with getting on the water. There's a little boat called an Opti.
Cool.
And there are tens of thousands of these little things around the world. Now, the Opti is about, in old terms, about 8 feet long. What's that, about 2 metres long? 2.5 metres long?
Oh, yeah.
And the Opti is a fantastic little trainer, and you can have 1 or 2 people in the boat, or 2 kids in the boat. And if you wanted to sail, if you wanted to learn to sail and go on a sort of a development pathway that went right through to the Olympics, the Opti is where they want you to start.
I like it. And where are we going to go from the Opti?
Well, we're going to take you to 2 hulls now. This is a monohull, 1 hull, and I'm going to take you to a multi-hull. So this is the Robby Wave, and you'll need a budget of about $8,000 to $9,000 for this. Sounds like a lot of money, but you get a lot of boat for it. So the Robby Wave is fabulous. Again, it's unsinkable. You can take 2 or 3 people out on it. You need to be reasonably competent to sail it, but catamarans are very forgiving. Multi-hulls are very forgiving. They sail upright, they sail flat. They don't tilt over like a mono-hull or a single-hull boat does. But when they go, they go. When they tip over, they're gone. And if you look up on the top of that mast there, you'll see a float up on the top of the mast. So that if this Robby Wave, in the unlikely event it tips over, it's not going to go upside down. You can right the boat and keep sailing.
And now where are we going to go from this?
Okay, so we go from this and then we start talking about yachts. Now, this is an example. That's called this boat here is a beautiful boat, an old design boat called a Yachting World keel boat. And you can buy those for about $7,000 or $8,000, and they're not in great condition because a lot of them are about 40 years old. But it's a great example of how you can get into boating with a fixed keel boat, which means that it normally doesn't capsize. It's actually ballasted. It really is a great way to to get into sailing in a little bit more of what we would call a safer environment, a fixed keel yacht. And so then we get into powerboats, and that's where my mate Lenny Pascoe takes over.
Well, we better go and find Lenny Pascoe.
Yeah, the great Lenny Pascoe.
Well, here we are at the Sydney International Boat Show. I'm at the My First Boat stand with Len, who's going to tell me a little bit about what would I be looking for, like an entry-level motorboat.
My first boat was something similar to this, which was around about a 12, 13 foot flat bottom boat, and it's got a 15 horsepower motor, and it's ideal for calm water fishing, say after Ludwig. It's also a good one to take out the kids for the first time. So an entry-level boat is something like this. And after this one, when you graduate, you go to something like the Seaway, the 4.29 metre Seaway. And the idea of going to something like that gives you that choice of doing, say, the river, estuary, and then light offshore. So the next step you can go to is something like the bayliner. So as the kids get older and you need more space, the bow rider is an excellent boat because they can sit all around it, and it's really a comfortable boat.
Yeah.
So the bayliner, a great family boat. So really, to enjoy the waterway, there are so many options that we have today, but importantly, we've got to make sure that we keep safety as a paramount. And remember, you're the skipper of that. It's like driving a car. You're not going to drive the car stupidly. Don't think that you're in a boat that you can get away with, not taking care of the people that you're with. So
thank you so much for your time today, Len.
Pleasure.
Ta.
You want to buy a boat?
Yeah.